Hi everyone, Paul Morbid here, Morbid Team Entertainment. This case is some of my audio equipment and creating sound effects. Here's one way that I use to record some sound effects, a little bit of music, right in here. Alright, so this is a classic stylophone. It is a basic synthesizer, and whatever recordings that I do for audio and sound effects, I record them on cassette tape. Walkmans are really good for this, on the cassette tapes. Alright, the stylophone does accept this model, a classic one. 3 AA batteries. Just got a Phillips screw right there, and with the cover out, of course. Just put the batteries in. Alright, the power selection on is here. You slide that. You have a variation on this switch. What do you like to play? So just remove the stylus, and you can start playing around with sounds. Just like that, and create whatever type of sound effect with this very inexpensive synth that you like. It's been used before by film artists and gotten a lot of great sound effects to come out of it. You can search around and get these online for various prices, but this one I really enjoy it. To me, it was very inexpensive, and for that cost, making experimental horror films, you really don't need too much. Alright? In addition, when you turn the stylophone rather, on its side here, you have different mode selections as well for sound effects. The stylophone also has on its side an MP3 selection and a slot for headphones, including, when you turn it over, it has another pot right here, and you can turn this for different effects as well. These are my analog headphones. If you're unfamiliar with them, here's the brand. You can go with any brand. For those unfamiliar with the vintage headphones, they look like this inside. Of course, they're adjustable on each side there, and they fit really tight. So, like when I was a young man, you use these in school to listen to certain subjects on tape. Here's the adapters that I use. Just pull it off, and you have to attach it to this one, of course. And that fits right inside, just like that, of the Walkman. So I just simply have my Walkman when I want to listen to something, and I just insert that into the earpiece. In my case, it doesn't make a difference if you read Japanese or not. Whichever one you put into, you can switch it back and forth, and you'll end up with the earphone piece. Generally the trick to the Sony Walkmans, the best quality made ones that are manufactured were in, of course, Japan. So there's a little tip for you there. A lot of Walkman users and collectors will tell you this as well. The beauty of this is, we create my own sound effects. What I can do is I use a record on one of my Walkmans right here, and since they have these mics that go across here and up at the top by my thumb, when I want to switch from one Walkman getting the raw sound effect footage, I just simply press play on one, then record on the other one. Alright, and just hold them speaker to speaker, just like you would do playing piano or another instrument, but especially, you know, like piano. I always make sure that when I'm going to store my Walkmans away or any of my equipment, to always remove the batteries, so not to cause corrosion. I have extra tapes to record things like anyone else would, but also if I want to make loop tapes. That helps out a lot when I'm playing my movie back that's been edited. You do that, and then I can play the music and the sound effects from my Walkman, and then record it, the film and the audio together from a vintage movie projector. I did make the attempt to use some modern technology mixed with a vintage audio cassette player, and it just didn't work out. I didn't like it, mainly because the item I got in didn't work. These things are junk. If you have one and it works great for you, great, but I've been repairing VCRs and cassette players and other small electronics for years, over 35 years. All right, and if you look in here, take a good look. All right, so here we are. All this stuff in here is plastic. And yeah, later on, some Walkmans use some plastic, you know, as well when they change, but it's just, this is not metal. This cassette plate, it's plastic. And the functions inside are a lot of plastic. So much so that in operation, you know, the recorder records. It just will not, it's just broken where the flash drive goes. It will not capture. All right, you know, this one. So there are just too many plastic parts. So much so they remind me of Funai VCRs when Funai made the last VCRs. They were so cheap and plastic that you could see through. I was amazed it even worked. The gears would just move around in those things, and this thing is just a reflection of Funai VCRs. These things just, they're, you know, I don't like it at all. If you have one and it works for you, then that's great. But I use equipment from back in the day that's heavy, it's sturdy, it's made out of metal. This thing, it just, right here when you rewind the tape and it stops, it just puts so much force and tension on the bottom gears under these spindles right here. It looks like the entire mechanism is gonna just, you know, burst or explode instantly. But that's enough about that. So that's it. I use a stylophone. I also use some other things to create my sound effects. and record everything with 2 Sony Walkmans. Alright? These are experimental horror films, and it's great to create when you want to go analog like I do. Alright? Do contact me at the social media outlets provided on the screen, and remember, as always, do subscribe. Until next time, later.